Hello, everybody. I'm Barry Welsh, also known as the Doofus, American Doofus, Mr. Doofus. I'm the host of the American Doofus Show. But this time the tables are turned and I'm on Darren's podcast. So, welcome to Darren's podcast. Here's your host, Darren Harris.
Welcome. So he already said what I was going to say at the beginning, but welcome to my podcast and thank you. Thank you. It's an honor being the first one to interview you too.
Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to be on here. We both have Androids, and Androids don't support recording. So hopefully we've got this worked out.
Yeah, I know. I hope so. Shit. So for my viewers, because I mean I don't have many yet, but some of them are probably from your viewers as well. But for the ones that's not, could you tell them a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm one of those people that have done a lot of different things. I'm not one of those people that have done the same thing for the past 40 years. I'm in the 60 when you check the box to determine the demographic on surveys and shit. I check the 60 box. So I've been around a while. There are a lot of people that have experienced more things than I have, that have been on the earth longer than I have. And I try to learn from them, and I try to learn from those that are growing up, if you will, in this incredibly crazy environment we find ourselves in. As far as my background, I've been a teacher. I've been a minister. I'm a retired United Methodist minister. Been involved in politics. I've been a morning show disc jockey. I've been a news person. I've been a photographer and writer for various online news services. And you've probably seen some of my stuff, even though it didn't have my name on it. And now I host a show here on YouTube that's about telling the truth. It's about fighting for justice and equality. And it's about things that I think are and should be American.
Heck yeah, that's what's up. So I don't know if I've ever told you, but what got me, how I found you was because Grandmaster Jay posted your video, and honestly, at first I watched that one video and then stopped, but then I kept seeing your videos pop up. But I thought it was the same video because the American flag was behind you in almost all of them. So I was like, it's the same video, but no, I like your page for real.
Thank you.
But what exactly made you start liking NFAC and Grandmaster Jay?
Well, first of all, I don't know if I'd say I like them, and I don't dislike them. So just to get that clear, I saw the video from Stone Mountain, Georgia, and this was I had a roommate, a friend, a lover, a partner that knew my background and said, you need to be doing a show on YouTube. You need to have a show on YouTube and talk about all these things. Because, we were both taking the quarantine stuff pretty seriously. So we were, and she said, you need to quit just talking to me about all this stuff and start talking to other people. So she had everything all set up. as far as the links and the pages and everything for about 6 days before I ever agreed to do the first thing. And initially I thought the show was going to be me doing stupid stuff and me highlighting other people doing stupid stuff, but it turned into serious, incredibly serious, because the times we live in aren't times for stupid stuff. And I saw the NFAC's first formation in Stone Mountain, Georgia, and I thought, this is incredibly interesting. And I started investigating, and I was doing this before I even launched the show. And I was talking to Kay, my partner. Kay passed away 9 weeks ago today. Yeah, but she's responsible for starting this. And then the Grandmaster Jay, when Grandmaster Jay used, and I didn't know it, but I guess he's used 2 or 3 of my videos. And I think it's because I look like I do, but I don't talk like you'd think I would talk. And you mentioned I usually have an American flag behind me, and I've got it upside down at the moment because I think the country's in distress. And the flag was all about not letting anybody take the flag away from me as an American, not letting radical right-wingers or Republicans or anybody say, well, this flag's my flag and it don't represent you. Fuck that. It's the American flag. It represents anybody that wants to be represented by it, that lives in this country as a citizen, or even an immigrant trying to become a citizen. The American flag's your flag too, if you want it. Now, I understand there are a lot of people in a lot of communities that are so fucking pissed off they don't want to have anything to do with the American flag. And I respect that opinion, and I respect why they have that opinion after what's happened to a lot of them. And I thought, and I've had it's not like I'm all of a sudden woke. I ran against Mike Pence, the current vice president. I've been woke for a long, long time. It's just that I'm using my voice, and my platform keeps growing, thankfully. And I first saw the NFAC, and I thought, this could be the key to peace, because if this group gets big enough that nobody's going to fuck with it, then that's a peaceful thing towards the communities of color. So that's how I kind of I know it's a long ass answer, but that's how I kind of became not really a supporter, but all I saw was negative shit, that Grandmaster Jay is a clown, that Grandmaster Jay is stupid. And the dude is not stupid. The dude's not a clown. Now, there are a bunch of questions about what he is, but I was just telling what he isn't. And I was the only one doing it. And I may still be the only one doing it. But I've got a lot of questions, and I'd love to have him on to ask those questions.
That would be cool. That would be cool. I want to see that.
He's probably not going to do it, but I would think if he did it with anybody, he'd do it with me. Just because I've been straight up, I've called out the inconsistencies, and I've highlighted the consistencies, and still, in my opinion, because I've been involved in politics, I kind of look at it that way. But I try to have other people on, like I had you on, to give other views, because I think he's going to end up being one of the most influential people in 2020, and the group is important. Is it for everybody? Hell no. Would I join it? Probably not.
Would you join a militia though?
Would I join a militia? Mm-hmm. If push came to shove, and all hell's breaking loose, you don't have much choice. I don't
It's
think.
coming to that. It's coming to that.
I think it is. I think it is coming to it. I hope not. And I'm going to fight against it all the way till I have to pick up my guns and fight for something. Because the way I see it, there are a bunch of people that think they are ready to kill for the president of the United States. All right. I'm just going to be flat out honest here. There are a bunch of people that think they are ready to kill for the president of the United States. And a lot of them look like me. Okay. The question should be, are they ready to die for the president of the United States? Because there are a lot of people on a plane that they've had enough of the bullshit. And not only are they ready to kill, they're ready to die. You know what I'm saying? And I think a whole bunch of people that look like me aren't ready to die for Donald Trump. You know, they may talk about it on the keyboards, but when it actually comes down to it, are they ready to die for Donald Trump? Seriously?
Bro.
And I'm hoping that sinks in. And that's one of the things I keep holding on to towards peace, because, man, I think we're heading at a rapid rate into massive violence across this country. And I don't want to see it.
You know your episode with that guy, Chris?
Yeah.
Rahowa, I think it was.
Yeah, the racial holy war.
Did y'all say that Pence has a militia?
I don't think Pence has a militia. No, we didn't say that. No, he just has a very right-wing evangelical view of his faith, and it's his faith and my faith aren't the same faiths, even though we both consider ourselves Christians. The way we look at and our public statements back this up, the way we look at our spiritualities are very different. I'm sorry, ma'am. Doofus dog is in here with me. I apologize if she. Hey, she's a good guard dog, and she's also pretty good about not ever popping up on camera.
Yeah. So, I think you know the episode with King Kendrick and Delta.
Yeah.
Could you speak on the things that he found that King Kendrick has? Because I think this should be brought up on another platform again and again. You know, until it, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna have him back on, hopefully. But you know how things work.
Right.
Sometimes, a lot of times, people come on my show and nobody's ever heard of them. And after they've been on my show, they go on everybody's shows. And that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. You know, it's just like some of the people that live stream, they're doing it because they want the message to get out to as many people as possible, because it's about the movement. Some people that live stream, it's all about the views. You know, that's all they're concerned about is how many views am I getting? Well, that kind of tells me that maybe you're not doing it for the right reason, you know, on that part. So the things that he was talking about, that he's got body cam footage from policemen that were there. Now, none of the cops that were involved had body cams, supposedly. He may have more information on that. He has had access to basically everything that the legal team had. Now, as far as specifics, I don't know. And you know, when we talked for maybe 2 or 3 minutes before we started the interview. And that's one thing we said was, you know, he's not going to get into specifics on what he has on this show. Now, will he on the second one? Maybe, after being more comfortable after being on the first time. my recommendation is he turns everything, or he goes to the FBI with everything he's got, because there's a federal case still open. But if they don't want to hear it, the public needs to, at the least, so that if nothing can be done about the corruption immediately, we make damn sure it doesn't happen in the future.
Sure, that's why I had to bring it up again, because
Yeah, it needs
that's
to be
crazy.
brought up.
That's crazy.
It needs to be brought up.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, I agree with you. It needs to be brought up over and over again, because that's what happens with corruption. It gets swept under the rug. People forget about it. Everybody, there are a shitload of people in Louisville that are pissed off at me for having him on, because and not my regular viewers or anything like that, because they want it to go away. The city's trying to get it to go away. A lot of the residents are trying to get it to go away, and by us constantly bringing it back up, it ain't going away.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So I watched your video, I think it was today. Why, or do you know the charges for Mrs. Rosie? Why the fuck would they put their hands on her like that?
I don't have
Everyone
any idea. And also,
I know Miss Rosie.
Yeah,
I know Miss Rosie, and I ain't even from there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And that's why I felt so compelled to get it out as quick as I possibly could, because so many people know Miss Rosie, that aren't even, like you said, aren't even from there. Because if you go to Breonna Taylor Square, if you go to see the memorials, chances are Miss Rosie's going to be there.
Yeah, I protested with her.
Yeah.
And I seen her on the news and all that. So
Yeah.
Everyone knows her. So I know the police knew her. So why the fuck would they grab her like that? They know she's a sweet woman,
She tries to de-escalate everything. She's always trying to bring peace. And there's a bit of a conspiracy theory that, she didn't like Grandmaster Jay. She didn't want the NFAC in Louisville. So,
right.
So people have put together that, Jay was in Louisville last Tuesday. Okay.
Why? I mean, I've seen that, but have you found out why? Like,
he was meeting with the new chief of police, according to King Kendrick. And she's an African-American woman taken over for 6 months, trying to, and I wouldn't want the job. I wouldn't want the job she did.
Hell no.
But there was like a welcome dinner for her, and Grandmaster Jay was invited by somebody to that dinner. That police.
I think I might have heard that story, but I thought that was something different. I thought that was for Lafayette.
No, that was after Lafayette. And that's according to King. I wasn't there, of course. And I knew nothing about it until the interview. And I thought that would be the major story out of the interview, that people would be questioning, WTF,
Because he didn't make no video. He always makes videos, so it's something he's trying to be sneaky about.
Well, because see, from the political standpoint, I understand why he would meet with them, why he would want to keep, a relationship with the police. Now, from the protester side, it's like, WTF, whose side are you on, Jay? Whose side are you on, NFAC?
Because
it's about the black people, but it's not about all the black people, because there are a bunch of black people that are pissed off when they find out he was meeting with the police. So
he says that he's there to protect the people, and he's there for the people getting killed by the police. But when he shows up, he's nice as shit to the police. I don't understand that shit.
Well, like I said, politically, you kind of have to be. All right. Otherwise, but
why talk shit though?
But we're getting to the point where it's too late for politics.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I forgot what the original question was. Did I answer it?
Yeah. Well, it really wasn't a question. I was just talking about you know,
The Delta King
Miss
interview.
Rosie.
Oh, Miss Rosie. Yeah. Yeah.
And then it kind of just led to that. But
Okay. The conspiracy theory is that Jay wanted Miss Rosie silenced because of Miss Rosie coming out so strongly against him and the NFAC. And a week after he's in Louisville, the police come and find an excuse to take Miss Rosie down. Now, I think that's highly unlikely that with everything Grandmaster Jay's got going on, he would want to be petty against Miss Rosie in Louisville. I really personally can't imagine that happening, but that's one of the conspiracy theories that that's been pitched to me more than once. And hell, I got enough conspiracy theories of my own not to get involved with an NFAC one.
So the video with the Proud Boy, that the video with the war is coming. Was that posted before or after the shooting?
The shooting in Colorado?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was posted before that. Yeah, I think it was like, now it didn't get to me until right before I showed it. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to get this out. My hope is the dude in the video is, maybe had 7 or 8 too many beers, and he was just, wanting to talk tough. The problem is you never know, you never know. And that's what scares me.
So I've heard, they went to the NFAC went to Stone Mountain for the KKK, and I've heard Delta say that the KKK is big in Indiana.
Yes.
I've never heard that. I know they're huge in Arkansas. Like, I've been trying to tell people, do your homework.
Isn't the national headquarters in Arkansas now? That's what I thought.
You got 2 cities. Well, I know of 3, but there's 2 cities that is basically headquarters.
Yeah.
It's Harrison and Marianna, Arkansas. And Harrison, they had a protest not too long ago, and that shit was crazy. Like, this white guy, he had a sign that said Black Lives Matter. People was driving by saying, you better be gone before I come back. You're white. Why do you even care? Some crazy shit.
I've heard it all.
What about Indiana? I've never heard about them being in Indiana.
Oh my gosh. In the 1930s, the 1930s, you could not get elected to a political office in Indiana unless you were a member of the Klan. That's how powerful they were right before World War II. And the only thing that really brought them down was the power went to the head of the leader, and he ended up raping a woman and all but killing her, throwing her off of a train on the way back from Chicago. And she didn't die. She ended up being able to testify against him. And that's the only thing that brought him down at that time. And especially and just like in Arkansas, there are areas that specifically are, known as areas where the Klan still has a presence.
I used to be called the N-word on the court, like Greenwood, Arkansas.
Yeah,
man, then when I was in junior high, there used to be a real sign that said, you better have your black ass out before sundown, out of the city before sundown.
Yeah.
That was like in 2005.
Yeah.
And in junior high and high school, I've heard the N-word every time we played in Greenwood, Arkansas.
In the county I live in right now, and I'm kind of stuck here at the moment because of, all the shit that's happening. But in the county I live in, they had a unity rally event, and I went to it, and my freaking phone screwed up, and I couldn't record it, or I would have played the images. I'm talking to the camera walking to the event, And then I get to the event and the thing doesn't work. And the reason I bring it up is because there was a black minister that came and talked, and he spoke about the first time he came into the county, and this was in 2008, and how he was told, you know, you don't want to be in this county when the sun goes down. And that's 2008, you know, I mean, so it hadn't changed in certain areas and with certain people. But yeah, that's, you know, if the shit was as clear cut as black and white, you would know who the enemies are. But you would know who your enemy was. You would know who to fear. You would know who to plot against. You would know who to avoid.
Right.
But it's not like that. It's like, I think it's in certain areas, it's not like that. In certain areas, it's white on white. It's people that believe every fucking thing Donald Trump says, and the people that don't believe any fucking thing Donald Trump says, and they just keep yelling at each other. And then you've got, you know, you got kids dressed up in all black and calling themselves Antifa and going out with umbrellas. And I guarantee you folks, an umbrella is not going to stop a 223 or a 556, let alone a 45, a 38, a 9mm. It's not a game, and it's real shit out there. It can be real shit at any time, any place, and it's just going to get more and more real as far as shit. And that's my opinion. And you got a bunch of people that, I mean, the guys. Okay, I got the thing in Colorado. I got a report from a viewer like 15 minutes after it happened, and the report was a BLM had just shot a Proud Boy in the head. Okay, and I'm looking online and I can't find nothing. I can't find nothing to verify it, and I finally get a verification, and I go with the story. And I went with this. Here's what was reported to me. Well, it turns out that, as far as we know right now from relatives, neither one of the guys involved were part of any group. But the dude that ended up dead is not a victim, because it's not a fucking game. And he went to a place that he knew was dangerous, and he decided, laughing, while he's laughing, he's going to mace somebody, thinking he's just going to get away with it and nothing's going to happen. And it ended up the dude got a bullet in the head. And he's not a victim. He went to somewhere. A victim is somebody that walks into a gas station while a robbery's going on and gets shot. That's a victim of a shooting. Okay, somebody that's a person of color that a policeman yells at him, the first instinct is going to be to run, because, you know, otherwise 9 times out of 10 you're going to take an ass whipping at the best and get charged for something. Get charged for something you never did. So yeah, I don't blame him for running. Getting shot while you're running, that's a victim of shooting. Going to a place that you know you could potentially get shot and deciding you're going to smack somebody and mace them just because you think they're not going to reciprocate, they're not going to retaliate. That's not a victim. That's a fucking dumbass that went to a gunfight with a mace can. Same thing about the kid. Same thing about the kid in Kenosha, Wisconsin. He's not a victim of anything other than being somewhere he shouldn't have been, having a weapon he shouldn't have had, and using it in a way that was deadly. That's the only thing he's a victim of.
On that, by the way, do you think like kind of, I said it on my podcast before that I bet there's probably a possibility that his charges are dropped, that he gets away with murder. You think it's a possibility?
Absolutely, it's a possibility because it can legitimately be argued in court as self-defense because nobody knows what was in the plastic bag that was thrown at him. And once that was thrown at him, if that was a Molotov cocktail, that was a deadly attack. Chances are just a plastic bag with an empty water bottle in it. And the only thing the guy had to throw to distract him. But
They said it was empty, but
that's
they
what,
also
yeah,
said they said that there was a gunshot. But I was thinking I didn't hear a gunshot, and he wasn't aiming the gun at him, so I don't know why he would shoot him after he even shot the gun, if he even did, you know. So I don't know. But a lot of people think he's a hero. A lot of people.
absolutely. Absolutely. He is a hero to a lot of people. And the guy in Colorado is a hero to a lot of people. But to
Yeah.
his family and to his friends and to his loved ones, he's nothing but dead.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm just trying to be real.
Hell yeah. So I guess I'm gonna switch on a little something more positive.
Cool. And
So are you for sure going October 24th?
no, I'm not for sure yet. No, I want to really badly because I think there's a possibility of incredibly groundbreaking things happening if groups can come together and talk to each other.
I'm trying. I'm trying to go. I am. I'm trying. Is it the Angry Viking? Is it his stuff or what is it?
It is the Angry Viking has an event there on the 24th. The Angry Viking invited Delta and NFAR, which is totally different from NFAC.
Right.
And Delta is inviting a lot of other different people. He's wanting everybody to show up, you know, Boogaloo Boys, Proud Boys, 3%ers. NFAC, everybody. And I think it's a hell of an idea to try to get everybody together before you start killing each other to see if, you know, is killing each other really worth, are we going to really gain what we want by killing each other?
Bro, it's like that what Morris World TV, Taharka Bay said about you and American Viking. Like y'all, people are just looking at the videos on YouTube. They don't really see these people in real life and see what's really going on. Like, I mean, I'm not saying I'm really for Angry Viking or whatever because I don't know him, but at least he's not on no racist shit. You know what I'm saying? At least
Yeah.
he's trying to bring it. He's trying to have peace. You're definitely trying to make peace. So we all should be networking with each other. We shouldn't just be, oh, he picks this side. No, we have in the military, we all have to work together in the military, no matter what.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah.
I don't understand why the fuck he would say some shit like that about you, saying he wouldn't come on your show. Thought that was a little fucked up.
Well, you know, it's probably, see, let me try to explain it from how I see things. And I used this analogy before. It's like championship wrestling. Okay. Every good guy has to have an equal bad guy. And there are those that cheer for bad guys and there are those that cheer for good guys. But very few people cheer for the referee. And I look at myself as the referee. So Mr. Bay, all due respect to him, and him saying he would not come on my show or he would not sit down with me. If he did come on my show and he did sit down with me, that would anger a lot of his followers probably. And he has to take that into consideration, who his followers are and what his followers will think. Whereas I have viewers, you know, I don't, and I'm cool with the viewers I have because the viewers I have are independent thinkers and they're intelligent people and there's generally pretty intelligent conversation in the chats, while in the comments during the live. And I understand he has a following that won't hear me ever, because the way I look and because I sit in front of an American flag. That immediately turns a lot of people off. So him not wanting to come on my show or be willing to talk with me, I understand it from his side. From my side, I think we all need to be talking. Just like you said, we all need to be networking. Those of us that have any little tiny bit of influence at all, that have a desire for peace, ought to be talking to each other about it on each other's platforms for everybody to hear, in my opinion.
Bro, because they're literally making it seem like, oh, you shouldn't talk to a white person, though. European is what he calls it.
Yeah.
But knowing damn well they go to a bank and get money from a white person, or go here and here and have to deal with a white person somewhere. Yeah. They can't tell me that they only deal with black people. They're being fake on social media, not keeping it real, like real life shit. I bet Taharka talks to white people. He said something different. My bad, but yeah, I bet he talks to white people. He cannot make it seem like, and you aren't even doing nothing wrong. You don't even seem like a agent or a cop or nothing like that. So I don't even know. Damn.
The majority of my regular guests, the majority of my regular guests are people of color.
Bro.
I mean, and Delta the other night tried to make the point you just made. He said, I asked how the gun show was, and he said, man, it was great. He said, there were 3%ers there were QAnon there were, he named all the different groups that were there. He said, everybody's talking to each other and everybody's talking about guns. Nobody, and there's no shit. Why is there no shit going on there during that time? Why is it just,
on social media?
Just on social media when we're away from each other. So my hope is it all stays on social media. And that's all it ever is just a big, giant, massive war game scenario that,
Yeah, because in person, a lot of the shit they say, they know they'll get the shit smacked out of them, and they don't want that. So they're gonna keep it on their brain.
Absolutely. And the people that talk shit to Delta online aren't gonna walk up to him and talk that same shit.
Yeah.
Because he will tread on you.
Yeah. I like Delta. I'm still in the process of trying to holler at him.
And the same thing with King Kendrick. People don't understand that if it comes to things in the streets, these guys are the streets. These guys are the field, and they have been out there and they have done this, and they have connections, and don't take either one of them or their supporters or their followers or their members. Don't take them lightly.
Yeah. And by the way, y'all, that's me too. For y'all, y'all, my comments, I ain't playing either. I don't know if y'all seen boy, I fight, and I don't have to use no gun. I ain't going on nobody. So y'all remember that in my comments, because y'all be going crazy.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Yeah. I've always found, and again, I've been fortunate to be on the planet Earth for a while now. And I always found that the people that talk the loudest and talk the most aren't the ones that you should really fear. It's the people that don't say a whole lot. And that, they will kick your ass at the drop of a hat if necessary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, Grandmaster Jay talks a lot. He's a real good talker. But if it comes down to, I've got to scrap with, I've either got to get in the ring. I'm not talking about, bullets and shit. If it comes down to actually scrapping,
hand to hand.
And I haven't been in a scrap since July 4th, 2015, 5 years ago at a Rolling Stones concert. That's the last time I actually scrapped. And
Did
I
you
hope
whoop his ass?
Huh?
Did you whoop his ass?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I sat down on the ground. He was standing above me. He was talking shit the whole time. And I sit down on the ground and I literally put my boots on because I was sitting there barefoot because it's hotter and shit. And this guy was deciding that my space where we had been sitting for hours waiting on the stones was going to be his space. And it was like, no, that ain't happening. I never said a word. I sat down, I put my black boots on, I laced them up, I tied them up. I looked over and the guy about 10 feet from me, I read his lips. He said, "I got your back." And I nodded at him and I stood up and I never said a word to the guy. I stood up and I just kind of went off.
That's how you got to do it, no matter how big they are. You know what I'm saying? You got to get your respect.
And and I don't want to ever have to do anything like that again. But if I have to, I'm gonna. And if I had to choose to get in the ring with Grandmaster Jay or Delta to scrap, huh? I'm gonna I'm not gonna fight Delta. Hell no. No, if I have to scrap with one of the two, I'm gonna scrap with Grandmaster Jay. Now, if it comes to let's have a political debate, I'm gonna want to have a political debate with Delta because he doesn't have the experience in that. You know,
I feel what you're saying.
Yeah,
I'd rather
different battlefields require different warriors.
Yeah, I'd rather fight the better one because it makes me better.
Personally, I'd rather debate Jay. You know,
yeah, I see what you're saying now.
And get in the ring and learn from Delta. But if it's going to be kicking each, and this is all hypothetical. We're just talking on a podcast.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to fight either one of them. I would like to debate Jay. I really would because I think he's smart. And the last smart debate I had was I debated Mike Pence, the current vice president, 3 times. And I think I kicked his ass 2 out of 3 times.
Hell yeah.
But, you won't hear me say that on my show because it's not about me on my show. On your podcast, I'll tell you.
Hell yeah. That's why I'm glad I did this because we never see that view. We never see your side.
So we're running out of time, man.
Huh?
I said, we're running out of time.
Oh, damn. Okay.
You got a couple more?
I think that's about, you went and voted, didn't you?
I went to vote. Again, we were supposed to do this a different way and we're trying to make this work. And I said, I needed a little bit of time. And I was going to go vote and there was a line. So I did not wait. I'm going to go vote as soon as we get done here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And while I'm not enthused about candidates, I'm trying to look at it as I'm voting for my 2 daughters and my 2 grandkids' futures instead of voting for something for me at the moment.
They got marijuana on your ballot?
No. The governor refuses to do it. And you know what? It's so wild because when I'm doing my show and I have a guest on and a guest lights up a joint, it's like, what the fuck are they doing? Because it's not legal here. It doesn't register. Well, they're doing, they ain't doing nothing. They ain't doing nothing illegal.
People be in my comments and they're like, oh, you smoking marijuana, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you don't even know where I'm from, do you? Like,
yeah. And my personal opinion on it is it ought to be legal. It ought to be legal across the country. 1930s, again, in the rise of the Klan, that was one of the things they targeted marijuana as a black drug, and we got to get rid of it. And hemp is bad. And it was just because the guy wanted to sell newspapers, just like some of the shit that's going on is because people just want views on Facebook or YouTube, and not realizing that this ain't a fucking game. People are talking about killing each other in our own country, and even laughing about it and joking about it. And it ain't a game. I've got a cousin that here in Indiana breaks the law every single day, smokes pot every single day because it's the only way he can eat. He's a 60-year-old dude. Never thought he'd be smoking pot. Last person.
I bet he's a cool dude.
No, he's an asshole. But he smokes pot because it keeps him alive.
Hell yeah.
Just keeping it real. And if you're watching, I'm just kidding. You're not really an asshole. My cousin happens to be watching. But he is conservative. Okay. He's a conservative guy, but he chooses to break the law every single day because it's the only thing keeping him alive. It's the only way he can eat regular and feel good, Otherwise, his intestines are so screwed up, he's in constant pain and he can't eat. And he was dwindling away to nothing. So I know firsthand that it benefits people, and nobody's ever OD'd from it. Just if you smoke much, you go to sleep. I mean, and people, if more people smoked a bowl with somebody they didn't like, there'd be less fighting, because you don't really want to fight. You want to just chill. And
that argument's gonna be out the window. You're gonna feel fine, calm you down, everything. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, but people, how many times a freaking day are the reports of somebody gets, well, not anymore because of COVID, but got drunk in a bar fight and hit somebody over the head and go to jail because you're drunk. You're making wrong decisions. Yeah. All right. Any other opinions while you got me here? Any other thing you want to know, that what I really think? Because I don't talk like this on my show.
Well, I'm just looking out my window, and the first thing that popped in my head was gun violence. You got any gun violence in your city?
In the area I'm in, I don't live in downtown Indianapolis. I live out in the suburbs of Indianapolis. And in the area I'm in personally, there is not a lot of gun violence. Now, you go to Indianapolis proper, there were 7 shootings on Sunday alone. There were 7 shootings, 1 stabbing, and out of the 7 shootings and 1 stabbing, 4 deaths. So yeah, there's gun violence in the city of Indianapolis.
My street is the worst street in my city, right? No joke.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about shootings all the time. It used to be worse before they put the sky cop up. Talking about bad, like all kind of shit every day. But now it's probably like once a week, maybe a couple a week or something like that. But I mean, my kids, of course I've seen it a lot, but my kids have seen people get killed, shot in the leg, shit like that.
Yeah.
There's always weave. You always see weave out on the ground because women getting their hair pulled out and shit. All kind of shit be going down out here. So yeah, I gotta keep me some guns.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. And in Indianapolis, they've already broken the record. You got yourself muted?
Someone was calling me.
Okay. All right. Indianapolis has already broken the record for most murders in a year. And we got the rest of October, November, and December still to come. So that's how many killings there have been in Indianapolis. Yeah.
That's crazy. I hadn't even heard. I've heard of Indianapolis, but not on that type of chart. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. And I don't have an answer for that. I don't have
It ain't gonna stop. It's just, I mean, I got a sky cop on my street. They literally in broad daylight bust someone's ass for real. For real. They don't care. It ain't gonna stop.
Yeah. And if that fervor, if you will, in that community, if that turns if it turns away from hating each other and has a common enemy in a bunch of white rednecks, the white rednecks don't know what's coming, because like we started out talking about, there are people that are ready to kill, but are they ready to die? And some of the people you're talking about not only are ready to kill, they're ready to die. And if anybody ever gets to them and says, look, quit focusing all this hatred on each other, we got bigger fish to fry. Hopefully that never happens. But if it does, white people don't, it's not going to be like, and I've said this many times on the show, those of you wanting war, it may not be anything like you think it's going to be. Chances are it will not be anything like you think it's going to be.
Hell no, because there's a lot of sick people out here that'll
Absolutely.
cut your ass up. They'll cut your ass up, your body parts. And nah.
Yeah. Yeah. My brother, thank you so much for having me on your show.
Hell yeah. Honor. Thank you. Salute.
My pleasure. We'll do it again sometime.
Heck yeah.
You got to come.
Hopefully I'll see you October 24th.
Hopefully we'll see you October 24th. And after that, you got to come back on my show.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Take care, Darren.
All right.
Love you, brother.